Right, welcome aboard everyone to what will be the first video of my channel. To those who are watching, thank you for watching. Thanks, Mom. It's going to be quite different for me. This is completely unusual for something that I would do. But I thought flight sim is such a great hobby, and why not share it? So here we go. Here I will share it, and I'll tell you a bit about how you can get your flight sim to be to the standard that I've gotten mine. Not saying that mine's the best out there, but I like to think that I've got it to quite a good standard. Today we're going to take the Fenix A320, which is an absolutely incredible aircraft. We're going to take it for a flight from NZAA, which is Auckland Airport, to Queenstown, November Zulu Quebec November. And I think that'll just give me a good opportunity to show you guys some things, and also show you a bit of a fun approach into Queenstown. I will likely split this video into two, because I'd hate to do a 2-hour long video only to realize that there's something wrong with my microphone or streaming software or whatever. So we're going to just kind of split it into two, and I'll do the approach into Queenstown on a different video. So I think let's get started, and I look forward to hearing any comments. I must just say this is for entertainment purposes only. I'm not a pilot, I'm not a qualified pilot. I just do this for fun, and everything I do is it's not a procedural thing. It's all just getting things sorted as quickly as possible, getting in the air as quickly as possible. So it's all a bit informal, but I think that's good enough for most flight simmers, whatever you want to call yourself. So let's get going. So I've made a flight plan on a website called SimBrief. It's an absolutely essential tool that you need to have or use when you get into flight sim. And what it does is it gives you a professional means of developing a flight plan. It gives you weather briefings, it gives you charts if you get the professional version. It's just an absolutely incredible tool. And what it has allowed me to do is develop a flight plan and send it directly to the aircraft. And so as you can see, all I did was click one button, and the aircraft has picked up my flight plan. Auckland to Queenstown, and it's given me my scheduled departure time. Don't think we're going to make that, but it's all good. I'm not too worried about that. So we're going to start off with ground services. As you can see, we're not connected to any air bridges, there's no stairs, there's no ground equipment. So we're going to link all that up now. We're going to toggle the jetway. We're going to toggle the jetway. There it is. We're going to get our cargo doors open. Door open. And I think that's all we need for now. So with the loading, we have got all the things connected. We've got catering, the air bridge, all that stuff you see on a regular aircraft when it's on the ground. So now we need to invite the passengers and the cargo on board. And we have multiple ways of doing that within the flight sim. And you can do it the simple way, which I'm going to do today. And that's just going to make it load immediately. So all that weight that I've put into the flight plan, it's all just going to be loaded immediately. And so we don't have to around for ages. It's done. But there is a more how do I say this? There's a more immersive way of doing it, and that is with a program called GSX. And what GSX allows us to do is it simulates passengers. So if you had a glass jet bridge, you would probably see passengers loading when you use that program. So that's a really cool thing to have. But again, I'm not going to use that today. We'll save that for another video. Right. So we're going to get the passengers on board now and all the cargo. So as you can see here, we have 155 passengers planned, 0 boarded. We have 2.3 tons of cargo planned, and we have 7.3 tons of fuel planned, with 2.9 tons in the tanks currently. So here you'll see the options that I've just discussed come up. We can use GSX, we can use real time, we can use fast time, or we can use instant. I'm going to use instant because that's how quickly we do things here. Aircraft loaded. So once we've got everything loaded, we will go and jump into our MCDU. So in the MCDU, we can go init or initiate, I think it's that. And we're going to request that our flight plan B is pulled into the system. There it is. So NZ Alpha Alpha to NZ Quebec November. The flight plan is in. And now where you see there's a bit of orange boxes, that's just where we need to input further information. And this is where the flight plan documentation comes in handy. So ANZ 228, so we'll input that. Cost index is 12. Now cost index is just a performance figure, and it's just, I stand under correction, but I believe it's a figure between efficiency, fuel efficiency versus time efficiency, or something like that. Again, I'm not entirely sure. I believe it's that. You may need to spot check me on that one, but it allows the aircraft to understand what we expect in terms of, do we want to be more fuel efficient, or do we want to be more time efficient? Do we want more speed, or to save fuel? So that's kind of what the cost index does. Then we've got our cruise flight level, and that is set to 360, so we'll put 360. And we'll put 360 in the autopilot. Also 360, flight level 360 means 36,000 feet to anyone that doesn't know. Sweet. Next we do our fuel. So from here, so we're going to send this information now that we've loaded up to the MCDU. And Fenix has been so kind as to add that function to send it to the MCDU, so that we don't have to keep going back and forth and referencing this page. So you'll notice that this page in the MCDU is empty. There's no information filled in. But when I click this button, it's filled in. And so it saved me having to go back and forth. Again, Fenix is an absolutely incredible aircraft project development, again, whatever you want to call it. So now that our weight is all in, we can quickly confirm that it's correct. So zero fuel weight is 58.7, and we've got 58.8, so that's fine. Must have just rounded it up. Cool. Next we're going to do our takeoff performance, departure performance. So this page is on our electronic flight bag, and it requires a number of inputs to decide what the optimal takeoff configuration for the aircraft will be, taking into consideration the wind, runway conditions, your flap configuration, temperature, pressure, and from there we can deduce a V1, VR, or V2 speed, and that allows us to determine what point we can actually leave the ground. So it's a pretty important figure, and it's highly essential. So we'll get into that more on the takeoff roll or just before, and I can discuss what those V speeds are for. So we're going to load sync load sheet, and I'm just going to confirm the active runway, and what we're going to do is use the ATIS to do that.
Auckland Airport information, Oscar 2000 Zulu. Wind 200 at 12. Visibility 6. Sky condition, few clouds at 1,600 feet, ceiling 4,600 feet broken. Temperature 21. Dew point 10. QNH 29.80. ILS runway 23 left in use. Landing and departing runway 23 left. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back, hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact. You have Oscar.
Okay. So I've just put the barometric. Hold on 1 second. So I've just put the barometric pressure, the QNH, into the input box, or whatever you want to call it. So that's essential because it allows an accurate reading on the altimeter, and we should probably do the same here. It's 2980. So you can see as I adjust it, the altitude changes. So as you can imagine, that becomes essential, especially in low visibility environments, but it's essential in general. Cool, and yeah, the wind is accurate. It's 220 at 12. So we can in fact use runway 23 left, which I believe is the planned runway, which is fantastic. I don't have to redo the plan. So we'll go into flight plan. You can see the whole flight plan has been input, and there is a break in the flight plan, and that allows us to put the SID, or the departure route, if you want to call it that, which we'll do now. So departure, we're going to use runway 23 left, and we're just going to confirm which SID we're going to use. Okay, so we've been given the Levra 1P departure via Kai Pi. There it is, Levra 1P via the Kai Pi transition. Sweet, and we will input that. Now you'll see we have an actual course departing the runway we have specified, which is great. So in terms of a route, we now have a flyable route. Next, we're going to actually do the performance as we were doing earlier. So we've done the departure, we've got flap config optimal setting, so I'm going to let it decide what flaps we're going to use. We're not going to force the toga. Anti-ice will be off because it is not cold today. I can confirm that because I'm sitting in Auckland. We've got live weather on, by the way, so whatever you see outside is exactly what I'm seeing outside my window here, so can't confirm it's anti-ice is off, so packs will be on. Takeoff weight 65.8, confirm 65.8. Go there. Yeah, 65.9, again it's just rounded up. MACTO 29.4, sync live weather. Yeah, temperatures 21 degrees, QNH 1009. We'll just confirm that. Yep. And calculate. So it's determined that our V1 speed will be 153, VR 156, V2 158. Flaps will be flaps 3, and trimmed down 0.2 flex 67.7. So we'll send that to the MCDU again, and it should all be filled into performance. There it is. And you'll see now we are able to actually fly. There's no red error messages. We have our speeds, and we have our altitude here. So I think we are pretty good to go. We are just going to request that the ground services leave the aircraft, and we will begin pushing back. So let me do that now. So seatbelt signs go on. We'll check on the fuel pumps. So at this point, again, I haven't followed a procedure, but what I'm doing now is just having a quick glance over the overhead panel and just looking for anything abnormal, and that's usually indicated by an orange fault light. So we're just going to scan like so, but you will notice that there are two fault lights currently showing. Those are generators 1 and 2 for engine 1 and 2, and for obvious reasons they aren't functioning because the engines are not functioning either. So those will come alive once the engine comes alive, which we will do shortly. Now we'll just confirm that the doors are closed. Oh, it's already on the page. Yep, everything's closed, and we will now request the pushback. Beacon is on, and I'll just run a quick checklist if I can remember where the checklist was. There it is. So cockpit preparation, this should have been done a long time ago, but anyway, gear pins and covers removed, fuel quantity is confirmed, seatbelts are on, adheres on nav, and we have set the barrow reference. Parking brake is set. Takeoff speeds and thrust are set, windows are closed, beacon is on. Cool, and that's before start. Cool. Ignition. Starting engine 2. So whilst I monitor the startup, I'll let you enjoy the sounds of the engine startup. Cool, and we'll start engine 1. Okay, and both engines have now started and are available. So we will run the next checklist. After start, anti-ice not required, ECAM status is checked. Pitch trim, we will set that. down 0.2. 0.2 down. Sweet. Oh, 0.2. My gosh. Flaps 3 we will set. And we'll just confirm the rudder trim is neutral. Cool. Now we'll do the flight control check. Rudder full left, neutral. Rudder full right, neutral. Elevator full up, full down. Aileron left, neutral. Full right, neutral. Cool, that's all done. And we'll just go TARA squawk mode Charlie for now. No, we shouldn't, but we are. And the APU can come off. Ignition normal. And taxi lights will go to taxi. I think we are happy and ready to go. Auto brake max. Spoilers are armed. And takeoff config check. It's normal. Sweet. Park brake released. Let's go. Okay, so we're going to hold short here, and hopefully the AI China Airlines won't hold us up. So just an FYI, we aren't using air traffic control today, ATC or any programs like that, just for simplicity, but we will definitely use that in future videos. So for now we'll just treat the airport as if it's uncontrolled. So I'm going to take this gap. I don't see any aircraft approaching, and I think the approach path is clear. So we will get onto the runway real quick before the other 7-8. Ooh, confirmed runway 23, left. You can wait. Just gonna confirm the checklist. Sweet, I'm happy. Cool, let's go. So lights are set. Confirm our V speeds is 153, rotate is 156. So at 156 knots we will pitch the nose up. And we are going to use flex temp. Sweet. Get the timer going and off we go. Stable. Maniflex, SRS, runway auto thrust blue. And just from the left. Rotates. Positive rate. Gears up. And now we're just watching the crosshairs or the green crosses on the PFD. And we can engage the autopilot. So that was the takeoff roll. We can actually bring the power back. And we can bring the flaps up 1. Flaps up to 1 plus F. And we can completely clean up and bring the flaps all the way up. Sweet, so everything went smoothly. And so now until up into climb, we just kind of monitor the speed. And typically ATC would give instructions, but at this point we're just going to go for a direct climb to 36,000 feet. So I think I'll leave the video there, and we will continue on with a short cruise and approach and landing into Queenstown in the next one. Thank you for watching.